It wasn't even recording the whole time. Hello, somebody asked me for a review of my Falcon boat, or a boat tour, you know, whatever. I'll tell you what I think about it as I'm giving you a tour. Spoiler alert, I like it pretty well. We'll start with the trailer, what the boat sits on for most of its life. It's a Marine Master aluminum trailer. I had the aluminum trailer made so I don't have to worry about the tube trailer rusting out, or any kind of trailer rusting out if I decide to go put it in brackish water and go chase redfish and flounder and trout and all that good stuff. Just like your normal bass boat trailer, got a swing tongue. It doesn't have the F2 winch, it doesn't have the F2 winch stand, but these are perfectly adequate. First I was going to swap them out, but then I was like, you know, who cares about that? It just looks, basically. It probably is a little better on paper, but they're fine. Up here we've got the Garmin Force. I ordered this boat, and I ordered it with the Garmin. I wanted a whole Garmin system. Now you'll see I've got a Lowrance too. I'll explain that in a little bit, but I love this trolling motor. If you watch my videos for long enough, you know that already. It's great. Here we've got two Garmins, 10-inch Garmin, the 106 and the 93. The 93 is my map, side imaging, down imaging, and traditional sonar, and the other one's live scope. I had my dealer who installed my live scope for me. Put this switch here, turn it on and off, the live scope. I'm going to turn that on, because we're about to put in and go fishing. Now I upgraded the butt seat to the New Millennium Palma horse seat, and it's worked out pretty good. I wish that the pole was a little bit taller, because I'm almost 6'5", and I just want something to lean against, really. But I can ride that thing like a mechanical bull when it gets rough out and not fall out of the boat. Let me take this back. Also ordered the boat with a keel guard. Excuse the mess. The boat's only been washed one time in 3 years because I use it, and I'd rather use it than wash it, you know. Over here we've got rod box with, let me come closer to me. We're looking in the boat now, so you can't be standing over there. Alright, so here we got rod box. I just keep random stuff in there. Rain suits, ropes, graph covers I never use, extra life jackets, face shields, all that good stuff. I have an inflatable I put in there in the summer that I tie off to the boat while I fish and keep the ladies in there, since they don't like to fish like I do. I don't understand it, but got some random fishing line hanging out. That worked out. It didn't end up on the road or in the water, so we'll throw that away properly. We've got a 10-inch Garmin 106. We've got a Lowrance 12 Carbon that came off my last boat. The guy who bought it didn't want it, so I was like, shit, I'll put it on my next boat, and I saved it for a long time. It took a long time to get this one built because of stupid COVID. This is a 2022. I think I mentioned that in the first take, but not the second one. I did get the single axle trailer. I did not get the tandem axle because I have to store this boat in my garage sideways, and that would require me to have to get some go jacks and have a whole nother process. It would require me to do extra work when I got home or when I left or whatever. So I'm glad I went with a single axle. I'm not pulling it very far. If I was pulling it, you know, 40 or 50 miles every time, I'd probably want a tandem axle. So we'll go back here. I got my blades. I got my Mercury 185. I got my Atlas. It's already broke on me. Had to replace the relay harness because it got stuck in the all the way up position. And that was a pain in the butt. I wish they had made it to where you can just replace the relays, but that's another topic for another time. Got the boat buckles. I had to add that. Falcon does not include the boat buckles on the F185. At least they used to not. Maybe they do now. But companies like Phoenix, they do include it. So that's something to consider. Here we've got our boarding ladder that I added. I think that's very important. Back here, this is my single 36 volt battery. I already made another video on my bilge, but there's my charger. Other side I've got a 16 volt and a cranking battery. Got all the switches to control it all. This is just your standard compartment, divided live wells. It's got 2 pump ends and one you can switch to pump out. There's a valve inside. You pull it and it switches to pump out. I prefer the Phoenix live well. Actually, it was 2 separate live wells, but this one's fine. It's adequate. I wish you could take the divider out. If you could take the divider out, it'd be awesome. So let's skip up here real quick because I want to talk about something before I forget. I ordered this boat without the rod tubes because I think they're stupid. You can only have like 12, 10 rods or whatever, how many tubes you got. So I got it without the rod tubes. And one thing I wish they had done was finished it all the way up with carpet. Just at least give me the carpet if I'm not going to get the tubes. The tubes have to cost more than the carpet, I'm thinking. A little bit of carpet it would have took to carpet it and make it not rough, raw fiberglass my rods are scraping up against. I use stick jackets, but still. That's a little irritating. This lid's a little wonky. That one's super hard to open because the console's mounted a little too far forward. I'm getting into the complaining part now, right? The biggest thing I complain about the most is the lack of dedicated net storage, because I was spoiled by Phoenix. Phoenix puts net storage right there at the floor drain. You just put it up and you can pull it out with one hand real quick and easy. But this one, I often don't have a net man, and I sit there and struggle, and I make a joke out of it. But really, I'm worried to death half the time, and I'm hoping I remembered to take my blood pressure medicine that day, because I've got a big old monster on the end of the line, and I'm having to fumble around in stupid net. It gets hung up. I gotta get it out. Everything else. Look, you don't even hardly go back in there. Another thing, I added this. This was $5 from Harbor Freight, and I just drilled a couple holes and screwed it in. It's magnetic, holds lures. I mean, this made it from the house. Rough water, this spinnerbait's gonna fall off, but these smaller things will stay up there. Now, going back to the cockpit, we have a cooler. Cooler's adequate. I put everything in a thermal bag with a couple of frozen waters, and that keeps it cold all day. I learned that with my Phoenix when I had one, because that cooler was more like a microwave, we joked. It wasn't insulated properly, so I had to do that. But it made for a nice, easy, clean, quick setup there. You just throw your drinks in a bag, put it in there, pull the bag out when you're done. You don't have any water to mess with or drain. But what people really want to know about a bass boat is how fast does it go. So with two people, full load, you're looking at about 60 miles an hour. The fastest I've seen by myself is 66. There you go. I got the C deck down on the bottom, or whatever, that's the brand name. I got the foam flooring. I do like it. It does get damaged. I don't know how that happened, but that's the way it goes. It does get really slick when you catch like a catfish or a striper, a big one, and you throw them down here and it's raining. I about broke my leg one day, got a compound fracture. I was worried about it. I was like, oh shit, I can't step there anymore. Padded front deck to cut down on fatigue. One thing I don't like, this tool holder. This is where I sit to go through this box. In the summertime, this thing gets hot, and I believe I had this branded backwards on my ass. I would never put pliers on there. That'd be even worse than sitting on this thing when it's hot. But I do keep extra lures. I don't put any drinks here. Sometimes I'll set my anus oil out when I'm flipping. Keep my anus oil in there. Otherwise, anus oil stays in here. This is my little odds and ends box. And get my... Oh, yeah. God. Get a whiff of that, baby? Come on now. You got my camera lady over here. She doesn't celebrate the anus like I do. Did a test on these. This is my remedy for the cheap bags. These $10 plastics come in. Freaking unbelievable. You spend that much money, you get a bag that's worse than like Great Value Ziplocs. What the hell? Trying to think.
You're talking about the seat. That's not.
I did talk about the seat.
Okay.
I talked about the New Millennium Horse Palma seat where I can sit on it like a mechanical bull when the water gets rough.
You said all that just now.
I said it earlier.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
You were standing way over there by the front of the truck, and I'm like, hopefully she's getting this. But I do like this boat. It rides really smooth. It's not the fastest boat. It's not as fast as the Phoenix, and the Phoenix rides really well too. They ride comparable, I would say. I'm old and slower now. I'm not gonna say I'm slow, but I'm slower. So I don't go over 100 miles an hour too often. Let's put it that way. Not anymore. Why's your face twitching? Middle compartment, I keep all my sunscreen and my hat, my blue rag, my remotes, my registration, everything's in there. My phones. It's dry. It's got a slam latch. It's the only compartment on the boat that's got a slam latch. I heard they leak. I've never experienced that. You want to talk about the seat? What about it?
The storage.
This is the most comfortable seat in the boat.
It's very comfortable. Oh, they don't have.
There's no storage. This is for when you drop. They told me when you drop something in between your seat and you can't get it, this is the solution for that. I think it's just because these seats came that way, or it's easy to do.
Yeah. I assume there would be storage.
The Phoenix, though, you could pull this up. This is Velcro. Pull the center up, and it all came off right here. And they had bolts. And you unloose them. You could slide it. You can move it around. I like that better, actually. But you know, no boat's perfect. This one's certainly not. But it's great. It gets the job done. I'm very happy with it. I don't want to sell it like the last one I got. It's like, oh, got to sell this piece of shit now. Got to find someone in the world that wants to buy this glorified surfboard.
And we did.
And we did, yeah, we did. And it made a man and his boy very happy. So that was good. Because it didn't make this man and his boy very happy.
Or his wife.
It made my wife very mad. So you did what? What is this piece of you just brought home? You got rid of a Phoenix and got this? You want to turn it off, you hit that little circle button.
Should I hold it down?
Just hit it once. Did you hit it hard?
Yeah. Oh. I hit it hard. I did.
Well, I was cutting this episode and I realized that I forgot a few things. Let's talk about them real quick. I didn't really prepare properly. I just kind of did this off the cuff. I was like, well, I'm going to do a boat tour, and I thought I'd be able to think of everything as I just went through without any preparation. So first we'll talk about a few more things I don't like. And the way the trolling motor is mounted, it's mounted so it's blocking the rod strap, basically, rendering that port side rod strap almost useless. I can put one, maybe two rods there, but the front deck isn't as long as the other models, so the end of the rods are going to hang off if they're long. If they're longer than 6.5 feet, it's going to be getting in the way of the passenger if there's one there. There are no trailer steps to get in and out of the boat while it's on the trailer from the front when you're launching and loading. There's no trailer steps available from the factory on that trailer. I think that's crazy, but you can buy them aftermarket. I'm going to get me some because that would be a great benefit, especially as I get older and weaker, more likely to fall, kill myself at the ramp. That'd be bad to drown right there at the tongue of the boat. Now I'm just going to talk about things I like. Just that was all the bad stuff about the boat. Talk about things I like now. So the storage, I have plenty of storage. I have more than I need. I used to keep everything I own in the boat until I got a boatless bank trash bag and a Raider box for my other little boat. So I've got tackle dedicated to those things. But all my bass boat stuff stays in the bass boat. It doesn't leave unless I have to borrow from it. The ride is very dry. It's not the driest ride I've ever experienced, but it's dry for a bass boat. The driest ride I've ever experienced was in a skiff. It's freakishly dry because of the way it flared out on the sides, a Carolina flare or whatever they call it. It's got tilt steering, which is a plus if you want to get in and out easy. If you got long legs like me, I use that tilt steering all the time. Falcons also come pre-rigged for stereo, whether you get one or not. The wiring is there, so if you want to add it later, you can. Or if you sell the boat and you're like, hey, person buying my boat, if you want to add a radio to this, just take it to a Falcon dealer. They can slap it in real quick. They'll drill the holes for the speakers. The wires are already right there. Just hook it up, put everything in. It's easier, a little cheaper that way, I guess. I know it'd be cheaper if I was doing it. I hate running wires through a boat. That's the worst, man. And last but not least, there's a term that people use that I don't think is in the dictionary. Let's look it up. This is an old English word, fishability. I thought it was not a word. I learned something just now. Just now, thanks to the internet. Fishability. How well does it fish? The boat is very stable. For an 18-footer, hell yeah, super stable. I've never had a problem with that. Fishing in rough water is great. It's got enough room in the front. It's wider than my Phoenix was in the front, the bow. Now, I think the 818, they don't make the 618 anymore. That's what I had, was a 618. They don't make that anymore. They make the 818. I think it carries its width a little further forward. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. But the fishability is great. I got the padded front deck. It cuts down on me getting tired. It doesn't cure it. I wish it did, but it doesn't. Fish is very flat. Boat's nice and flat. You're not sitting on a hill all day like on a gas. Somebody said, I've always loved gambler boats. I think they look gorgeous. They look like they're going 100 miles an hour just sitting there, but they do sit like this, and you're going to be standing like a mountain goat all day fishing. Maybe not. Maybe if you weigh as much as me and you stand on the bow, it evens out. I don't know. But they look good. I like them gamblers. Now, the difference between the Phoenix specifically and the Falcon in the cockpit is the Phoenix has a bigger cockpit area. A little bit, not much, but it is noticeable if you've got long legs. It's not a deal breaker on the Falcon. It's a deal breaker on other boats. like the smaller bass cats. I don't fit in those. I could never have a Pantera, which is terrible because Pantera is the best band that's ever existed, and I can't have the boat named after the band. Clearly named after the band, right? But I don't fit in it. It's sad. I guess I was born wrong. Like, if you're over 6'2", the bass cat's not for you. That's what they should say. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope it wasn't too full of ridiculousness. This is what I really think about my Falcon. I would buy it again if I had to. It's a great boat. It's a great boat. I wouldn't fish 3 people out of it too often unless everybody knew what they were doing, but it fishes 2 very comfortably. And I'm normally fishing alone, as you guys can see. So anyway, any more questions, comments, let me know. Thanks for watching. Please share, subscribe. Subscribe is probably the best thing. And watch the videos all the way through. We got to get a lot of hours, I found out. Just let them play in the background. I won't mind. YouTube won't know. I don't guess they're watching to see if your eyes are looking. They might be. I'm paranoid about all this stuff, all this AI. But here I am participating, fully participating. Anyway, see ya.